Have you ever wondered who the witch is and why she lives only in a swamp and always uses a potion? How is she related to robbers or murderers if she helps women in a raid on a village? Why is she angry to the player? And how does a villager become a witch when struck by lightning? Today I will answer questions about history and creation of a witch. Sit back comfortably. This is Dragushancraft, and we start in Minecraft theory. The witch appeared in Minecraft a long time ago, in version 1.4. During this time before the current version has not changed much, but still underwent some changes. Let's say you hardly knew that in the early version the witch ran away from the creeper. Alpha he didn't even try to harm her. Perhaps this was due to an error, and maybe the developers set it for a reason, but one way or another they removed it. Along with addition of a witch, we also got a new structure called the witch's hut. This is a small building in which the witch herself appears with certain chance. In addition, in this house you can find a workbench and a cauldron, and on the window there will be a pot with a mushroom. The witch underwent major changes in version 1.14. From now on, the witch participates in a raid, kills ordinary murderers and helps them to kill players. Also, from this version, a black cat spawned in her hut in swamp. Well, however, it's not a surprise, because stray cats also begin to appear in ordinary villages, which the player can subsequently tame. Now I'll tell you about characteristics of witch, because we need to figure out who we'll be dealing with if we suddenly decide to defend the village from a raid of murderers. She has 26 units of health, compared to the player 20, and maybe you will find it strange, but a witch also has her own battle tactics. Its whole point is in the order of using potion, and in fact the tactics are really dangerous. No armor will save you. The best way is to kill the witch it is as quickly as possible. But let's get back to the battle tactics. At the beginning she throws a poison in potion which doesn't care what armor you have on. This potion will do everything to kill you. You will have half heart left. She can also use a slow down potion, thereby complicating the player's task of approaching her or running away from her. And the finishing touch will be an instant damage potion, which will finish off any player who has little health left after the poisoning effect. She is also a pretty tricky mob. If you set her on fire, she will drink a fire-resistant potion, and if you do damage she will use an instant healing potion. In general, if you fight her, your damage should exceed her regeneration speed, and it's better not to use potion against her, because all the damage from such thing she reserves is greatly reduced. Alpha witches were added quite a long time ago, there is a little information about them. Let's say, where did they come from in the world of Minecraft? And why are they so similar to villagers? Let me remind you of a method by which a player or Minecraft itself can turn a villager into a witch. The player can do this with a trident with a channeling charm, but only in the thunderstorm weather. And before the player in the world of Minecraft, only Obsidian can do this. Lightning striking an ordinary village made him a witch, who became different from the rest and has some magical abilities. And there is one connection with villages. They have Bruin stand, on which the witch might have worked. This is also explained where villages have some magical items for potion, and even separate profession of priest who sells them. Perhaps this witch was a villager who had experience in potion making, but after a while the witch is kicked out of settlement, and she goes to the swamp. The place was not chosen by the chance. For many purposes, simple mushrooms or fly agarics are used, of which were acquired a lot in this biome. There is another version. Alpha they can be called complementary, because they do not contradict each other, but only bind a whole story into a single. In addition to the witch in the world of Minecraft, there is another creature that can brew potion, who understands magic and good in ingredients for potion. This is player. Before him, in the world of Minecraft, there was a certain civilization of same creatures, conditionally Steves, who created various structures, studied science. After the outbreak of zombie virus epidemics, half of Steves turned into zombies. This proves why all the undead are so similar to the player. The survivors built an igloo in the Winter Plains, where they study a zombie virus in a basement. They tried to find a cure and they tested it on the villagers. If you find such a structure and go down, you can see one ordinary villager from another infected. But experiments are never successful the first time, and sometimes when you go down to the basement, you will not find a zombie villager, and sometimes the basement itself will be missing. There is a theory that villagers who had been in these cells for a long time and on whom various experiments were conducted simply escaped it from the structure to the swamp. This proves how the witch know all the recipes for brewing potions. After all, it was a player, it was a Steve in front of them, who experimented in brewing potions. Even the brewing stand itself is located so that it is visible to those who are sitting behind bars. And so the villagers who fled to the swamp alone began to develop their own potion. Their appearance changed greatly, they began to differ from their first figurative appearance. This can be explained by the fact that because of loneliness, they had no one to test their potions on except themselves. This is proven by her unhealthy, pale appearance and increased immunity to all potions, and to some and not at all susceptibility. However, she was not completely alone. Version 1.14. A new type of villagers appeared, who began to be called a traveling merchant. At nightfall, he used a potion of invisibility, but he does not live anywhere. He simply has nothing to brew potions on. I think you already understood that it is quite profitable for witches to cooperate with those who travel around the world and can collect all necessary ingredients. And in return, the traveling merchant receives a large supply of invisibility potion, which provide him with safety and unnoticed movement in the dark. But the witch's loneliness did not last too long, because the marauders turned to her for help. In raids on the village, she does not use her powers and potions to capture the settlement. The witch constantly heals ordinary soldiers by throwing a potion of regeneration and instant healing at them. Thanks to her effects, it is quite difficult to play a fight with an entire army of bandits. In her free time, when the Marauder squad is completely healed, she inflicts damage on the player with various potions. This can be considered to some extent revenge for the fact that some time ago a race of thieves kept them locked in a basement under a needle and experimented on them with many potions. But however, they still treat the villagers neutrally or perhaps even friendly, because once she was the same as them. Thus, we can conclude that the witch is possibly not the most writing character in the history of Minecraft. But if you figure it out, this is a very important mob with deep history. And at first, the player coming to the world of Minecraft does not understand why the witch lives alone in the swamp, what happened to her, and what kind of villages are hiding under the igloo. After this video, you'll learn a little more information about Minecraft. So my theory came to the end. Rate this video if you like it, and of course comment it if you agree or disagree with my theory. Or just write your own version. I will really be interested in reading